Welcome to the Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show.
Welcome, fans, to the Spread's first ever mock draft. I'm your host, Jim Sella, here with Jay Dash. Dash, if you remember, we tried to do this the very first year we did the Spread, and Easy came busting into the room and screwed up the whole entire episode.
We didn't do one, though. I thought we did one for my buddy, and we did record it a few years ago.
I think you and your brother did a Steelers mock together, maybe.
No. This had something to do with fantasy, man. I thought we did do one.
I don't know,
I
man.
could be wrong, though. Who knows?
I'm losing it in my old age, so I don't know what's going on. I'm lucky I made it here in one piece.
Believe it.
So what are we doing here, Dash? A standard league PPR 12-team draft? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we're doing it on ESPN as well. Even though they're garbage, we're going to do it there because Yahoo, the site we're going to use for our league, doesn't have PPR mocks, I don't think. I couldn't find any.
Yahoo's stupid. Everything's stupid. We should just start our own fantasy football draft.
Start a whole website?
Why not?
I mean, it's tough. You could get it done. You got to pay some serious money to get it done, though.
Screw that. We'll start a GoFundMe.
Yeah, does anybody want to give us money to start a fantasy football site?
Please
we may
believe.
or may not get it done.
Send me money to my Venmo account. I'll be sure to list you as one of the contributors to the website.
Believe it. We'll
when
give
I
you
go
a
to
free
Vegas.
Bumper sticker.
Dash, when's this draft going to start, man? You're killing me here.
13 seconds. We're pick number 8.
8. Man, that's a beat-ass pick.
Well, whatever. I don't care where you pick, really. We'll see.
Would you rather be the number 1 pick and then have to wait until the end, or would you rather be somewhere in the middle?
To me, it really doesn't matter to me. I'd like a good running back, and Le'Veon Bell and David Johnson are really the only 2 top guys right now, with Ezekiel Elliott probably being suspended, 4 or 6 games, something
6
like
so
that.
far, could be reduced to 4.
And I like Devontae Freeman too, but he isn't a top end pick, I wouldn't say. But I really don't care where I'm at. I just don't want to have crappy running backs by the time I'm done.
What scares me about Freeman is I know he just got the big deal, but that doesn't mean Tevin Coleman can't come out and have a big year and cut into Freeman's carries.
He definitely can, and he did last season too, but Devontae Freeman still had a pretty good season.
Please believe I would just rather try to get Zeke, Bell, or Johnson, like you said. They're your top 3 running backs for sure.
And Le'Veon Bell went first overall. No surprise there. That's where he should go now that he is going to actually have his season start from week 1.
If he signs the franchise tag.
Yeah, well, I expect him to be back,
do
don't
too.
you? Yeah, I mean,
he'll be there. He's just skipping training camp because it's stupid.
And if not, I won't be drafting him first overall. Last year, I got him in the 2nd round because he was suspended. I want to do the same thing with Zeke here.
Yeah, what do you think is going to happen with that 6 games? Is that going to affect his stock in a lot of leagues? In a dynasty league, I think you still take him if you have the opportunity right away.
Definitely. And it's definitely going to hurt his stock in any draft, no matter what the rules are in the draft or whatever in the league. It's definitely going to hurt his stock, but I still want him, obviously. David Johnson went 2nd, so there you go.
In a redraft league like this, in a top 5 pick, are you going to take Zeke first round?
Probably not, man. I think there's still some beast receivers going to be there. I'd probably take Devontae Freeman over him in the first round and hope I get Zeke a little bit later.
What if his sentence gets reduced, or suspension, I should say, to 4 games?
I think that helps a little bit, but either way, I want to try to get him in the 2nd round. Our picks coming up here soon. Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, Mike Evans, and Odell Beckham Jr. So all beast wide receivers went. So no problem there. Jordy Nelson, another beast wide receiver.
Wow, Jordy at pick 7. That's a reach.
Yeah, it's a little too high for me. You still got A.J. Green there. I think I might actually go A.J. Green over Jordy Nelson. You got LaShawn McCoy, T.Y. Hilton, Devontae Freeman. See, I'm thinking Devontae Freeman right now.
I would take McCoy, but you know I'm partial to McCoy.
You like
and
McCoy?
You're not really a McCoy fan. He is going to drop off one of these years, so it's going to happen.
I'll go McCoy, dude.
Buffalo,
I don't care. That's fine.
Buffalo, they like to feature the run game. Tyrod Taylor's not going to throw for 4,000 yards, so you know they're going to be running the football. You know McCoy's the focus of that offense.
Yeah, I like him. I'd rather get him in the 2nd round if I could, or skip over him. 8's a tough spot, I guess, with the 4 beast wide receivers going and the 2 top running backs. So there's a little bit of a step back there. LaShawn McCoy definitely isn't a Le'Veon Bell or David Johnson right now.
I think you could say McCoy and Freeman, either one of those guys would be the top of the second tier of the running backs.
Melvin Gordon went 9th overall. See, that's way too high for me. I don't trust Melvin Gordon.
I don't trust it because there's injuries on the offensive line for San Diego. There's injuries to their wide receiver. I said San Diego, LA. There's injuries to the wide receivers. I don't know. I don't buy anybody on their offense other than Phillip Rivers.
Devontae Freeman went 10th overall. I like that pick right there.
That's a definite good value for
We
Freeman.
still got A.J. Green on the board. He's not going to make it to us. T.Y. Hilton, Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas just went. So, yeah, I was just going to say I don't think I could go that high with Michael Thomas.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of his.
I mean, it's not like he's bad or anything. It's just in New Orleans, man. It's so tough for a guy to put up huge numbers. I mean, Drew Brees likes to spread the ball around out there.
Believe it, especially with two good running backs down there now. If Peterson has a decent year, they might be trying to take a little bit of the load off of Brees since he's getting close to 40, or he might actually almost be 40 by now.
DeMarco Murray, Jay Ajayi, and A.J. Green went after that. I like the DeMarco Murray pick. You had to take A.J. Green. Ajayi had a big season last year. I don't know if I completely trust that pick. Lamar Miller goes next. I don't like Lamar Miller this season, really.
Ajayi scares me because he's already having concussion issues.
Okay, so Amari Cooper just went, and it's our pick. Let me turn this down so you don't have to hear that noise all the time here.
So what do you got? T.Y. Hilton, Jordan Howard, Des Bryant. How is Jordan Howard still on the board?
I like Jordan Howard. I had him last season. So.
At 13, I think you got to take Howard.
Yeah, I mean,
Hilton,
Rob Gronkowski's still there. You took him in the second round in a mock, I know. I think I am going to go Jordan Howard. Now we know we have two running backs we can trust. So I like that.
Yeah, Gronk in the second round. I don't know if it's a reach, but it's getting close. You never know what's going to happen out there in New England. They have like 4 running backs that they're going to try to use in different situations. They added Brandon Cooks. They still have Julian Edelman. They still have Danny Amendola. They got that other young receiver. I forget his name. They're going to.
I don't think it
spread the
matters.
ball
I mean,
around,
Gronk is going to be a beast.
Right. I mean, you just got to worry: is he going to be there the whole season?
Marshawn Lynch goes. That pick scares me. T.Y. Hilton goes. I mean, that's a solid pick, I guess.
I'm not saying Lynch can't have a big year, but I'm staying away from the guy.
Yeah, I think so too. So what do we have? Des Bryant is the top guy right now on the board. Doug Baldwin is next. He's 18. That's tough for me, man.
Does Zeke leaving 6 games hurt or help Des Bryant's value?
I don't even think it matters necessarily. I think they're both going to have good seasons. Zeke when he comes back, and I think Des Bryant's going to have a good season, man. I don't think it's going to affect them either way.
What about Prescott? Is he going to have a sophomore slump?
I'd expect him to take some sort of step back for sure. I don't think that's going to affect Des Bryant too much, though. He got it done with Tony Romo how many times, so I don't think it'll affect Des Bryant, but I do think Dak Prescott is going to take somewhat of a step back this year. So let's see what we had to go here. T.Y. Hilton, Des Bryant, Rob Gronkowski, Demaryius Thomas, Doug Baldwin, Elshon Jeffrey, Leonard Fournette. I don't like taking Fournette either. DeAndre Hopkins had a down season last year. That's not a bad pick at number 26, though. I think he can take a step up this season. Todd Gurley goes after that. Todd Gurley looked bad last season for sure. And, I mean, I still don't trust the Rams, so I think I'd have to pass on Gurley at that spot too, don't you?
I don't know. I think I like Gurley at 27 with Sammy Watkins going out there. If he can stay healthy and you can get a downfield threat, you still have Tavon Austin.
He did have that big rookie season, so if they can get back to that, that's definitely a great pick. But if he continues what happened last season, I mean, that's definitely not worth that at all.
Yeah, I think Gurley's going to take a step up, though. I think it was just because of having such a poor offense and Goff having a bad rookie year. I think he's going to get a little better. Not that he's going to be great, but I think you're going to see Gurley get back to closer what he was his rookie year.
After that, Christian McCaffrey goes, and then Ezekiel Elliott, man, 29th overall. Yeah. I wish that he would have felt we're picking here in 2 picks after Isaiah Crowell goes. It'd have been nice to see Zeke fall to us in the 3rd round, but now we know. 2nd round is where you want to take Zeke.
One of the Facebook groups I'm in, it says, who should I take with the number 1 pick in a 2 QB dynasty startup league?
Number 1 overall
pick? Number 1 overall pick.
Le'Veon Bell? I'd still take Le'Veon Bell.
Over David Johnson?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Le'Veon Bell's still a young guy, man, and he's the best running back in the league right now, and there's not too many great running backs right now. Larry Fitzgerald goes. I like that pick. We are up. Let's see. We got Brandon Cooks, Keenan Allen, Jordan Reed, Jarvis Landry. I like Jarvis Landry. I heard he's in a little bit of trouble, though. Maybe some domestic violence or something, I think it is.
I think it's past issues from what I've read that they've already gone over this with
Okay.
the NFL, and it's just kind of the media catching up to the story, so I don't expect anything to happen with Landry.
Look, I'm a big Keenan Allen fan. I love this guy. He's been hurt a lot in his career, though, so
Believe it.
that kind of scares me. Terrell Pryor.
I love it. You know me. I'm a
gonna
big
go with
Pryor
Terrell
fan,
Pryor.
dude. I love it. That's a great pick here in the third round.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Pryor because he's the guy to go to out there in Washington right now. So
Listen,
I'm
I
gonna go
live
with
right
it.
down near Washington now, and that's all anybody's talking about in the media in that town, how good Pryor's doing in training camp. I've seen some videos on this Redskins breakdown that they play, a little half-hour show that they do. He's catching one-handed balls. He's catching balls on the run over the shoulder. I mean, this kid really looks like he's coming into his own as a receiver, and now he's actually going to have a good quarterback. This guy put up, he got over 1,000 yards last year, just over 1,000, I think it was, with garbage quarterbacks. So
Right.
you put him in a system that actually Kirk Cousins has been thrown for over 4,000 yards the last few years. So I think Pryor's going to have a big year.
After that, Brandon Cooks goes and Brandon Marshall after that. What do you feel about those guys?
Brandon Cooks, I think he's going to have a big year, but is it going to be a lot of catches or is it going to be a lot of touchdowns? Is Julian Edelman going to be the catch guy and Cooks going to be the touchdown guy? Is Gronk going to be the red zone guy? So, it's hard to tell. But at this spot, late third, early fourth round, that's definitely a good pick. And Brandon Marshall, it's hard to figure out. Across from OBJ, he has the best chance to have a big year. This could be the first time Marshall gets into the playoffs if the Giants make it, so he might be motivated to come out and have a big year. I had him 2 years ago. He helped me ride all the way to the championship game, but last year he had a really down year. Some people were saying he quit on the Jets, when they started losing. So who knows? I think he's going to be re-energized, though, and
I mean, we've seen it in the past that
34th pick, that's
Eli
not too
Manning
bad.
can make more than one wide receiver good in fantasy. Now, it really hasn't happened quite as much over the past couple seasons, but Brandon Marshall is a beast, so I could definitely see him having a good season. Keenan Allen just went as well, right after Carlos Hyde, actually. I like that Carlos Hyde pick. I mean, he's not a beast or anything, but it's hard to find running back, so he's a solid running back to pick here at the end of the third round.
Another Facebook member says, go get Nelson Aguilar if you don't own him already. Are you feeling him? I know you liked him his rookie year.
I haven't seen anything from him yet, so, I mean, maybe as a late round flyer or something. I'm not going to be wasting a top 7 pick on him, I don't think, meaning 7 rounds. Jordan Reed just went. That's one of my favorite tight ends. I like that pick.
Where's Kelvin Benjamin? Is he still available? This kid's going to have a big year, I think.
Kelvin Benjamin, he is not in the top 10 available here. I think he's still available. I haven't said his name yet. So, yeah, he's still out there as well.
Crazy. This kid's definitely going to have a big year. He's lost some weight coming into camp. He's doing just what Coach Rivera wants out of him. Cam Newton's going to be able to get him the ball. They have McCaffrey and Samuel in the backfield to try to help out. I think it's going to be big.
Our
for
pick
their
is up
offense.
and Jarvis Landry just went. I was hoping for him to be there. You got Julian Edelman, Golden Tate, Allen Robinson. I'm still an Allen Robinson fan. He had a down year last year, but this guy is a beast, and I think they can get it done this season. I think Allen Robinson's going to have a bounce back season.
I like Travis Kelce here, and I know, he's, to me, one of the top tight ends. I know a lot of people think Gronkowski, or maybe some people are saying Jimmy Graham's even going to have that big bounce back year, so you can get him later, in the rounds if you want to wait. But I really like Travis Kelce here.
Yeah, you still got Greg Olsen there. I got 8 seconds. I think I am going to go with Allen Robinson. I think he's going to have a bounce back
You're a
season.
bigger fan of his than I am. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm for some reason I never draft the guy.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
he's in Jacksonville, so that makes it tough.
They throw it from behind a lot, so
Yeah.
he's looking for a new contract too. He tried to get one in the offseason, didn't get it, so he could come in motivated.
And if you
to
ask
prove
me,
himself.
I think he's the most talented guy on that team, man.
I think a lot of people overlook contract years with players. Players in a contract year can come out and have big fantasy value if they're smart. And just because you're in a contract year doesn't mean you're gonna play well, but you're obviously going to be trying a little bit harder than in some of those other years.
Tom Brady went here in the 4th round. I like
Too
that
early
pick.
for a quarterback, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Not
waiting
Brady,
on a quarterback too, but Tom Brady, 4th round, man. I remember the days
Screw that
when
dude.
1st, 2nd round you take these guys. It's nice to see these quarterbacks drop a little bit.
I don't take a quarterback before the 7th round anymore.
Some years,
Depends on what kind of league you're in, too, I guess.
Let's see, Bilal Powell, Julian Edelman, and Golden Tate just went. Golden Tate, I like that pick. I think that was a good pick there.
Well, Powell's interesting because the Jets aren't going to have too much of an offense. They might be a check down machine. You got Josh McCown out there. You got Christian Hackenberg, who's not that good. Bryce Petty. Whoever the quarterback is, they're not going to be moving downfield. That Quincy Uwuna, I can't say his last name. He's beat for the whole year. So the Jets don't have too much talent on offense. So you might see Bilal Powell get fed the ball a lot.
Yeah, and he has had big games in the past. We haven't seen a full good season out of him yet, so that's still a scary pick at that point. Danny Woodhead, your boy, just went.
I like Woodhead.
Travis Kelce went as well. Aaron Rodgers, Joe Mixon. I think I'd skip that pick.
I don't get it. I don't get the obsession with this guy. You got a crowded backfield up there in Cincinnati. They're not just going to stop giving the ball to Gio and Jeremy Hill. These are established guys who've had success in this league. That's got to be just somebody being an idiot.
Ty Montgomery went. Martavis Bryant, I really like that pick. I was kind of hoping he'd fall to me here, and I am up now. Jimmy Graham just went. So, let's see. Sammy Watkins, Jamison Crowder, Mark Ingram, Drew Brees, Delvin Cook, my boy Tyreek Hill. I think that's where I'm leaning now.
Oh, there's Kelvin Benjamin, too. You
Kelvin
like Hill?
Benjamin.
You think he's not just a one-year wonder?
Maybe a short career, but I don't think he's a one-year wonder. This guy is the most talented guy on the Kansas City Chiefs, if you ask me. I still have the flex open, so I am going to take him. Kelvin Benjamin would have been a perfect pick as well.
What do you like about Eddie Lacy?
What do I like about him?
Anything? Any value there in Seattle?
I mean, it helps that he went to Seattle, I guess.
He's a fat ass.
Yeah, I'm scared of him, man. He gets injured a lot.
You loved him. You liked him better than Le'Veon Bell when they both came out.
I don't know if I'd say I liked him more. I said he'd have a longer career by the style that they play. And, I mean, that's still possible. Both of them get injured a good bit, so we'll have to see about that still. But Le'Veon Bell's obviously the better player.
Please believe.
Mark Ingram, Matt Ryan, Delvin Cook.
If you have Zeke in a keeper league, you looking to trade him, or do you still just kind of...
Oh, in a keeper league, I'm holding on to him. The only people I'm trading him for... Well, I don't even know if I'd trade him for David Johnson at this point. Maybe a Le'Veon Bell, and that's it.
I see Willie Snead up here in the top 10 on the board still. What value does he have down there in New Orleans?
You know, I kind of like him a little bit more than Michael Thomas. I trust him a little bit more, so I don't think he's terrible or anything. But like I said, they spread the ball around so much. He's kind of hard to trust out there. You trust Drew Brees because he's the one spreading the ball around. But I think Willie Snead's probably the best wide receiver out there for Drew Brees. I think they have the best connection, but I don't like taking New Orleans wide receivers. Oh, we're up already? Who went? Drew Brees, Spencer Ware, Martellus Bennett. You got Crowder, Diggs, Gore, Pierre Garçon, Eddie Lacy, Paul Perkins.
Delaney Walker. I like him. He gets a lot of targets there in Tennessee.
All right, you want to go with the tight end? Right now, we can take Delaney.
I like Delaney here.
I think Adrian Peterson's still out there as well.
How high would you take Martavis Bryant? He went 53rd here.
53rd. Let's see. 12 times 4. That's 5th round. I mean, yeah. I have no problem with 5th round, early 5th round, even mid to late 4th round. I'd take him as my 4th round pick. Who'd I take in the 4th round? Allen Robinson. I could definitely see Martavis Bryant having a bigger season than him. You never know.
I think Bryant's going to have somewhere between 60 to 70 catches, but I think he's going to get a lot of touchdowns this year. I think that's going to be the one thing that Antonio Brown goes down in this year's touchdowns. I think his catches and yards might go up over last year, but I think you might see Bryant going over the top a little bit more, so he might take 2 or 3 touchdowns away from Antonio.
I'm hearing Justin Hunter looks real good, too.
Me too.
He could be a late-round sleeper.
Who do we got in the top 10 on the board right now?
We got Paul Perkins, running back from New York, who I don't want. Tennessee wide receiver Eric Decker, Gillislee from New England, Moncrief in Indianapolis, C.J. Anderson, Jeremy Maclin, Deshaun Jackson, Mike Wallace, Tevin Coleman, LeGarrette Blount, and Adrian Peterson. I think we'll go with Peterson if he's there, right?
Believe it. I think Maclin could have a bounce back year this year, though. I found out he said he was playing hurt. I forget the injury, but he said he was playing hurt for pretty much all of last year, and that was really affecting him out on the field. He's probably going to be the feature wide receiver. I mean, Mike Wallace is the guy who goes over the top for Baltimore. But
yeah, I like Macklin a lot more than I like Mike Wallace.
I totally agree. Pitt is gone now. His career is probably over because of the
Macklin
injuries.
just got taken right after Deshaun Jackson as well, two former teammates. You like Deshaun Jackson a little bit this season.
I do. I think him and Mike Evans are going to work real well
Ooh,
together.
there was a nice pick. Duke Johnson. What pick was that? 77. So remember that for the draft. You want to take Duke Johnson before around pick maybe 70, take Duke Johnson, something like that. Because I do like him this season. Paul Perkins and Gillisley just went, we're up. You want to take Adrian Peterson? You got Tyler Eifert. We already took our tight end.
Yeah, I would say Peterson out of these guys.
Yeah.
I don't like C.J. Anderson. People were big on him again.
I mean, he did have a terrible start to the season, and he turned it around late in the season, so I see why, but I think I'd pass on C.J. Anderson as well. Tyler Eifert just went after him. Terrence West followed him up.
LeGarrette Blount, any value for him in Philadelphia backfield? Is he going to be the touchdown guy like last year? 18 touchdowns total for the Patriots.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, they had DeMarco Murray, and they failed with him, so it's a little bit scary knowing that LeGarrette Blount isn't near the type of player DeMarco Murray is, but I'm sure he's going to have a little bit of value. He didn't get drafted yet, that he's still out there.
Yeah. Amir Abdullah's still out there, too, coming back from that Liz Frank injury. That's something that can end a player's career, especially a running back. People are saying he's going to be that feature back out there in Detroit. So he could be a big play guy, or he could come out and pretty much crap the bed again because of that injury. Either way, I think I'm going to stay away from Abdullah unless it's like, I don't know, maybe 9th, 10th round.
Let's see, who else went here? Russell Wilson, Mike Wallace, and Cam Newton. So people are starting to take some quarterbacks.
I think I got Derek Carr in the 11th round.
Yeah, I was just looking for him now, to tell you the truth. I mean, I have no problem with taking him right now.
Kirk Cousins is there. I mean, it's crazy.
What do we need? We need a quarterback, a defense, and a kicker, and some backups. So
yeah,
we're already up. Who else went? Seahawks D, Robert Kelly, and Eric Decker.
You could sort it by position if it's easier for you.
Yeah.
It might screw up.
Maybe we should wait
tablet.
a little bit. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm having problems with here. Look at this thing.
That's it. Warbeat.
No, we're all right.
Auto draft.
Scroll over here.
We're going to get Darren McFadden.
Yeah, we might get someone we don't want, but we're just talking here. And
we're getting CJ Procise.
Well, who's at the top? We'll take someone near the top, I guess, and see if we can get Derek Carr at some point.
You got Dante Moncrief.
Yeah, Moncrief isn't a bad pick.
Tevin Coleman.
We'll take Moncrief as a backup. I'm not saying we'll do that in a regular draft, but this thing's a little messed up. We're on a tablet, so Moncrief looked like one of the best players available.
He was pretty much the only guy we could see on the screen at that point.
Let's see, you got Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott, and Derek Carr is the third-ranked quarterback right now.
How is he ranked 114th overall? It's just crazy to me. Dude's going to put up mad points.
Why did this get bigger is my real question. That's stupid. But whatever. Let's see if we can get Derek Carr in the next round. That would be round 9. I think that's a great round to take Derek Carr in. How
Please
about you?
believe. Look, you got Cousins there. You got Prescott. You got Carr, Winston, Roethlisberger, Stafford, Mariota.
Wow, that's
all these guys. Rivers, he's going to put up fantasy points. Did you see that apparently Denver was trying to trade for A.J. McCarron, even though Denver's denying this, from the Bengals, their backup quarterback, and the Bengals were offered a second-round pick and declined. So there could be some dissension in the ranks with Andy Dalton, and if Andy Dalton doesn't come out and have a quick or a good, first half of the season, there are rumblings that you might see A.J. McCarron. So I don't know. I would stay away from Andy Dalton as far as fantasy goes this year, unless you see him establish himself early on.
I think, isn't he usually a quicker starter than finisher?
Oh, yeah, he's garbage in the end of the year, but he's usually good at the beginning. But that's what I'm saying. If he struggles early on, that's usually his bread and butter. So
yeah,
if he doesn't even do good there,
another season still. And if he can't get into the playoffs, you might see his time come to an end out there in Cincy.
I don't think McCarron's great.
Nah.
I can't really tell you who's better between the two. I think they're pretty equal, honestly, if you ask me. Looks like a lot of people are auto-picking.
Yeah, after Moncrief, C.J. Anderson, Bengals defense, Tevin Coleman, Amir Abdullah. That's your pick. You like that pick right there. LeGarrette Blount, Adam Thielen, Tyrell Williams, Cameron Meredith, Kirk Cousins, Zach Ertz. We're up in 5 picks. Derek Carr is still there.
How early you usually take a defense? I mean,
at
I
the
guess
very
it
end.
depends, but yeah.
Yeah, unless
Kickers,
yeah,
defense.
I mean, unless I feel like I have a strong squad, I may take the best defense a little early. But besides that, I'm probably skipping over him. Dion Lewis is a nice pick. That's maybe a little early for him, but I do want to try to get Dion Lewis late in this draft.
I try to fill out my starters and a couple bench players at least before I decide to take.
All right, so we got Derek Carr. We're going to take him.
Believe that. 10th round? Is that what we're in?
That was a 9th round pick. We're going to be moving into the 10th here. Matt Forte is the top listed guy. I think Matt Forte would be a solid 9th, 10th round pick as well.
You like him better than Doug Martin? Doug Martin
similar.
Loves the drugs.
I think Doug Martin could be a solid 9th round pick as well. I have no problem with that.
He never once paid for drugs. Not once. What about Darren Sproles? That's Easy's boy. Where's he at?
Yeah, well, they have him ranked 107 here on ESPN and PPR, apparently.
He's got to be like 40 years old almost now. Can
I
that
do
young
like
little
that guy,
still
but
get it done?
You don't know what he's going to do from week to week. I try to stay away from those guys.
Waiver pickup maybe instead of drafting him if you think he's going to have a good game.
I mean, you could have a late round flyer on him. There's nothing wrong with that. Doug Martin and Matt Forte both just went, so we got to make a decision here in a minute on someone. Latavius Murray, another guy that could have a solid season. I mean, that's a pretty nice pick.
Stewart's still there.
Jordan
Stewart. Matthews, what do you think about him in Buffalo? Better or worse situation?
Oh, it's tough to say. Probably worse. I think he was comfortable there in Philadelphia, but I think he's the number one out there. He should be, correct? So I still think that's a pretty solid receiver to have. I mean, we've seen Sammy Watkins succeed somewhat out there. I think Sammy Watkins is a better player than... Oh, we're up right now?
Believe it.
All right, Darren McFadden just went. Hunter Henry, tight end, I like as well.
We got 16 seconds.
16 seconds, huh? CJ Pro Size, I do like that guy. Corey Davis, we'll go with Corey Davis. Take a guy that it might take him a little while to get going, but I do like Mariota. And Tennessee, I think they can be a good offense this season. And Corey Davis is the most talented receiver they have. Rashard Matthews might be the most consistent. Rashard Matthews, is that right? Matthews sounds wrong. But, yeah, he might be the most consistent receiver they got, but I think Corey Davis has the most upside, man.
Who's the best backup to own in Tampa Bay if Doug Martin starts doing drugs again? Jacquizz Rodgers?
You could go with Rodgers. I mean...
Or just stay away from them altogether?
Yeah, I really don't like taking backups at all, man. Like, I'm going to skip over Rodgers for sure now. During the season, it's a little different. I mean, running backs change so much. You're going to be dropping guys and picking up running backs all season long. There's no doubt about it, man.
Where's the value with Jonathan Stewart? That's a crowded backfield with him, McCaffrey, and Samuel, even though Samuel's probably going to be used more in the slot.
Yeah, I never like taking Carolina running backs, to tell you the truth, man. I usually let them go. I think I would take Christian McCaffrey this year. Not too high, though. I think he's going a little bit higher than I want to see, but I think I'd just stay away from Stewart altogether. Corey Coleman went.
I forgot Anquan Bolden signed in Buffalo. I'm not saying he has fantasy value, but he's a stud receiver. He's been his whole career, and he'll bring a lot of value to that team, especially the wide receiver group. He's a smart player.
You got Samaje Perine here, a rookie running back for Washington. They don't know what they're doing in the backfield yet, but from everything I heard, man, he's actually not having that great of a camp. At least he wasn't early. Maybe he turned it around more recently, but I think as of right now, I'm going to stay away from Perine as well. Who else went here? Anquan Bolden just got picked. Jordan Matthews just went. Giovanni Bernard. I used to like Giovanni a lot. I think with that crowded backfield, that's tough. That's why I'm glad we took these running backs early, man. Although we do need another running back here at some point.
I see Josh Doxson on the board now at 126 overall. This is a guy I've been hearing a lot down there near Washington who's not having a very good camp, and that Terrell Pryor has definitely passed him as the number one receiver, and Doxson might drop all the way to third on the depth chart. Kenny Stills.
Yeah. J.J. Nelson, Cole Beasley, Marquise Lee. These receivers, not too impressive right now. You got Jamal Charles. I don't think I want to take him at this point. What do you think?
Yeah.
What is going on with this thing, man?
Tablet's going crazy.
Yeah.
Oh. Phil Dawson.
Try to make us take a kicker.
Yep.
Mike Vick.
Oh,
Why are they trying to... We put all, man.
You're on auto pick. Boom.
Disable auto pick, man.
The
So,
tablet's
I don't even
losing
know.
it.
Are we on somebody else's team or something? What is this over here?
This is just pick history. This is our team,
Okay,
I
here
think.
we go. So we got Derek Carr, LaShawn McCoy, Jordan Howard, Terrell Pryor, Allen Robinson, Delaney Walker, Tyreek Hill.
It took Prescott for us. It auto picked us Prescott.
I'll take Dak Prescott as a backup quarterback. Why not?
Please believe. Put him in a running back.
I would have taken Big Ben as well. I think he's still out there.
Can we make the screen so we can actually see it again?
Yeah. We can not. Screw it. But anyways, we got Adrian Peterson, Dante Moncrief, Corey Davis. So we're pretty thick at receiver right now. We could use another running back. We could use a backup tight end. I like O.J. Howard. He's probably, he went in like the 14th round of one of your mock drafts.
We're stuck on auto pick, so if we can't get off of it, it's going to keep just picking whoever it wants.
We're stuck on auto pick?
I'm pretty sure because it turned auto pick on the last time.
Yeah, but I thought I clicked something that shut it off.
You might have. We'll find out.
Where are we at here? Let's move up. All right, Eric Ebron, Jack Doyle, Jason Witten, Austin Hooper. C.J. Fedorovich is a guy, he had a pretty solid season last year. I think he can repeat what he did last year. Cameron Brate. Where is
Witten, the ageless wonder?
O.J. Howard's not even on this board right now. Did somebody take him?
He might have went whenever the screen went
We got
crazy
some
and we missed it.
weak players being picked right now.
Jeremy Hill, Thomas Rawls. Rawls came in and gave me a couple good games a few years ago, but other than that, he hasn't
You
done
got
much.
Stafford, P. Ryan, Dawson, Chris Thompson.
Sterling Shepard's still on the
How
board.
about
but
Kevin
his
White? You
Injury
think that dude
history.
could come back and do anything?
I've been reading about him, and they said that he's having some mental issues, and they actually had him watching his college game film to try to get him to realize that he used to be able to dominate and go up after the ball, over top of people, and he just doesn't seem like he has it, but that guy could fly before he hurt himself.
We only got a couple seconds here, so I'm going to take Rex Burkhead.
Why not?
I took the Chiefs defense. It didn't even let me pick them.
Woo! I told you auto pick was on.
Well, where is this auto?
I don't know. Try to go up, maybe. My fat fingers don't work tablets.
I don't want the Chiefs defense. It says it's off. Auto pick says off, so we'll see, man.
I don't know.
And look, there's no little thing there. I think we're off, man. I think we're all right.
We're good. It'll just take whoever wants. Ben Roethlisberger just went. Texans D, Matt Stafford. I mean, you're getting Matt Stafford in the 13th round. Ben Roethlisberger in the 13th round. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Roethlisberger is mostly just a home quarterback when it comes to fantasy. If he's on the road, you don't really want him. So he's more of your second quarterback, maybe.
You piece of crap.
Although with all the weapons this year, this could be the one year that Big Ben puts it together home and away as far as fantasy.
I mean, it's possible. At least he's getting Martavis Bryant back. It looks like he has a nice set of weapons around him. It'd be nice for him to have a tight end as well. He always had a good tight end around him. This year might be the first year where he has a little bit of trouble with the tight end position.
Yeah, you got Jesse James, David Johnson, and Xavier Grimble. I mean, come on. It's not really a group that's going to light it up. Hey, Rex Burkhead's still there because they didn't let us draft him.
Yeah, I'm going to click on him right now and see what else is going on. Jason Witten, J.J. Nelson.
Take Witten for my backup tight end.
Not terrible, but I think O.J. Howard still might be out there, man.
Look him up. I forget what I read, but I swear one day I read that rookie tight ends just don't have great years.
Oh yeah, that's what I was telling you before, man. That's the toughest position for in terms of fantasy purposes, at least. Well, not even in terms of fantasy, but offensively, tight end is a tough position to succeed at as a rookie for sure. Rex Burkhead just went. Oh, we took him. Yeah, took him for us. Whatever. Not that I'm huge on Rex Burkhead or anything. I did like how he played out there in Cincinnati, and now that he's in New England, he seems like one of those guys that can have big games, but I don't really like taking players that I think are going to be inconsistent, and I think he will be.
Would you trade LaShawn McCoy for Ezekiel Elliott?
I'd take Ezekiel Elliott in that deal, for sure. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. What do you think? We just took LaShawn McCoy in the first round, so... I mean, it's tough, though, because, Zeke is definitely the better player.
Yeah, For sure. If you feel like you can build a good enough team where you can wait and, you have Zeke down that home stretch in the playoffs, it's worth it. And again, it all depends on if it gets reduced to 4 games. If it gets reduced to 4 games, I'm taking him in the first round no matter what, honestly. I'd take him at number 3. After Le'Veon and David Johnson, I would take Zeke at 3. Maybe Antonio Brown at 3.
That's where it's tough. I mean, there's still those beast receivers. It's hard to give up on 4 weeks of nothing. You know what I mean?
And there's no guarantee that Zeke's going to be great again, but Dallas does have a really strong offensive line, so you would think he is going to.
Yeah, I think he'll be all right, man. O.J. Howard just went. So what's that? Pick 159. So remember that. Where's that? 15th round, 14th round.
Looks like we're up.
Yeah, we're up. It don't even matter who
Devin Funchess, Tavon Austin. He might have a big year. He returns the ball.
Yeah, Tavon Austin. You can kiss my ace.
This guy says, my commissioner is insisting we not randomly decide draft order until 15 minutes before the draft. I want to present an argument as to why I think we should have a draft order beforehand. Help me get a list going. Man, what do you like? Knowing or not knowing?
I like knowing so people can do their mock drafts and set up in the spot they want to be in. I'm going to take CJ Fedorovich.
You love that dude.
Yeah, I do like him. He's not terrible. I think he's going to be a good backup. So, how many picks do we have left here? Can't be that many. I think all we have left is a kicker.
Kick it up. I never take a kicker.
And this wasn't the perfect draft or anything. This was the first mock we sat here and did like this, so it's not perfect. I would have rather had O.J. Howard. Maybe I'll go around earlier with him. And there was a couple other guys we mentioned. Who was it? Duke Johnson's a guy we should go a little bit higher on next time. I don't know about my tight end either. You like Delaney Walker. I mean, I don't hate him or anything. Maybe go a little earlier for someone bigger or wait longer. I don't know.
I don't know. I swear I read Walker's had the most targets at tight end over the last 3 years.
They got a lot of weapons out there, though. I don't know. I think DeMarco Murray and if Corey Davis can turn into what people believe he is, man, I think those are the go-to guys out there in Tennessee.
In the fantasy group, it says rank standard league. Gurley, Crowell, Elliott, Fournette.
What do they want to know?
1 through 4, just rank them.
Elliott, Gurley, Fournette, Crowell.
Who wins in a trade, Amari Cooper or Keenan Allen? Who would you rather have?
If Keenan Allen can stay healthy, I'd rather have Keenan Allen, but I think I'd go with Amari Cooper. It's been a while since Keenan Allen finished the season.
Would you trade T.Y. Hilton for Devontae Freeman in a 10-man PPR league?
I want Devontae Freeman 10 times out of 10 there.
He has Zeke already, Marshawn Lynch, Matt Forte, and Rob Kelly.
We're up. Let's just take a kicker. I don't even care who. We don't even have kickers in our league.
Yeah, I put that up for debate, but nobody answered me, so. Standard league, who do you start as a flex, Crabtree or McFadden?
I mean, McFadden for now, right?
That's what I would think. You got to think he's going to do at least somewhat well. I think we're up again.
Yeah, we're up here. I mean, we got 1 pick left. Austin Hooper, Jalen Richard. You could
What about Tyler Lockett? You were big on him at certain points of the season last year.
I mean, I think this guy's very, very talented. It's just, can they get him the ball consistently is the real question out there. I don't know if they can, but I do like Tyler Lockett. It's the last pick of the draft. I'll take him. Why not?
I read Russell Wilson came into camp in better shape than he ever has before. He doesn't have that baby fat on him that it looks like he's had in the past few years.
Yeah.
People think he's really dedicated himself to, getting in better shape after struggling with the injuries last year. It really affected their offense, especially early.
So that's it, man. We could have done a little bit better. I mean, we're doing it on this stupid tablet where it's hard to even scroll through these players.
Please believe.
I think I'd have taken O.J. Howard. I think Duke Johnson's a guy you want to target. But look, Derek Carr at quarterback, LaShawn McCoy and Jordan Howard is your 2 running backs. Terrell Pryor, we really like. Allen Robinson, you're not as high on him as I am. I think he's going to have a nice bounce back year. 2 years ago, he was one of the top wide receivers in the league. Tight end, you like Delaney Walker a little bit more than I do. I think I might wait a little more. I don't like taking tight ends high, but I mean, I wouldn't mind doing that as well. I could see taking a Gronkowski or a Kelsey when you wanted to. You know what I mean? Tyreek Hill, I think this is the best offensive option in Kansas City. So I like that at flex. You got the Chiefs defense who
Auto pick.
it just auto picked that for us, whatever. And we took the Chiefs kicker as well. So
We love the Chiefs.
yeah,
Don't take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers kicker, that Robert Aguilera or whatever his name is, because they cut the dude after taking him as a second-round pick like 2 years ago or last year maybe.
But then on the bench here, you got Adrian Peterson, Dante Moncrief, Corey Davis, Dak Prescott, Rex Burkhead, CJ Fedorowicz. I'd like to have a little bit better of a backup running back maybe, but I think that receiving core can be pretty good. You got the backup tight end. You don't even have to take a backup tight end necessarily, though. And Dak Prescott, you don't really have to take a backup quarterback either, but knowing that we took Derek Carr, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, well, Prescott was an auto pick again when the tablet was screwing up, so that's why we got him, or we probably would have picked somebody else.
So not a terrible team. It can be better.
Carson Wentz, I see, went 191st overall here. What do you think about that? You think he's going to have a better year? He struggled late in the year last year.
I think, that's what I'm going off of. He had at least he was winning early, I believe it was, and then he fell off. I think he's going to definitely be a little bit better this season. But, as a sleeper, why not? You can try it. Carson Palmer's still out there. He didn't get drafted. Mike Williams didn't get drafted.
Well, he's beat up.
How long is he out for?
People have speculated he could be out for the whole year.
Well,
Speculated.
Still as a sleeper, you could go with that. Nelson Aguilar's out there. That's your boy, apparently.
Yeah, let's look through see who didn't get drafted.
Laquan Treadwell.
Yeah, screw that dude.
Joe Williams.
Devontae Booker, he could end up being the starting running back out there.
That's
Tavon Austin undrafted? You got to be kidding me.
You like that guy? Julius Thomas, I thought he was going to be better out there than he was so far. I hate Kobe Fleener.
I think Julius Thomas might end up having a better year with Jay Cutler than he would have with Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. Antonio Gates is still out there. I'm not that big on him this season. I like Hunter Henry. Chargers defense sucks.
Janikowski, love that dude. I don't care.
Blake Bortles. 2 years ago, Blake Bortles was one of the top quarterbacks, so it is possible. As a sleeper. In fact, you know what? He's my sleeper this season, Blake Bortles. Because you know who was my sleeper last season that was going really late? Matt Ryan, man.
Yeah. Oh, James Conner's there. No fantasy value really for him.
Oh, man, we
Maybe
screwed up this whole draft. I just wanted to take James Conner.
I've heard people predicting Marcus Wheaton to have a big year fantasy-wise. I just don't see it.
In Chicago?
Yeah. They got Mitch Trubisky or Glennon, and Trubisky looked better than Glennon in the preseason game the other night, but Wheaton's not that good to begin with. He's solid, but I don't think he's going to put up big fantasy numbers. I wouldn't use him as anything other than a bench player. Or if you're stuck, maybe a flex player, but I definitely wouldn't have him as one of my starting two.
And like I said, Justin Hunter could be a sleeper, possibly. Who else we got here? No one too low here. Chris Ivory in Jacksonville. That could be somewhat of a sleeper as well. Everybody's sold on Fournette, but who knows with him right now. Brian Hoyer's out there. That's my boy.
Fournette looked good in the preseason game the other day, and he said that the NFL isn't as hard as people said it was going to be.
David Njoku, that's a possibility. They don't have really too much to go to outside of Duke Johnson, who we mentioned before. So he could be a possibility as a late-round flyer. Steelers defense.
Sleeper D.
I think they are a sleeper D this season, man. I feel good about the Steelers defense this year.
Austin Seferian-Jenkins, he's come into camp looking good is what I've read. I shouldn't say he's having a good camp.
You got Philip Dorsett, Eli Rogers. What just happened? It just scrolled.
What if Deshaun Kaiser takes over the starting job in Houston? Or
Cleveland.
No.
I'm not taking any Cleveland quarterback.
Deshaun Watson in Houston. What about him?
No, not yet, man. I think I would stay.
I
think I'd stay away from that at this point. That's about it, man.
That's it. That's
Chris
all
Johnson's still out there.
Charkandrick West. I'm all about David Johnson if I can get him this year, or Le'Veon Bell, one of those guys, because they're going to get the rock all day long. Bruce Arians has already said he wants Johnson to get it 30 times a game, catching and receiving.
Paxton Lynch.
Tyler Eifert, is he going to bounce back from an injury year?
It's been. I mean, he misses a lot of time, so I'm gonna say he misses some time this season. But when he's healthy, man, he's one of the top tight ends. So he's definitely a guy you want to target. You just don't want to take him too high because he can cost you. He cost you last season, I know.
Anything else for the fans?
No, that's it, man.
That's it. Mock It To Me, our first official mock draft of the year. Fans, check out our other episodes. Go back, check out our Steeler episodes. Just really going to start nailing down this fantasy. We need to. People are getting ready for it. Fans, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at bet_the_spread. Follow me on Twitter at betjimthewin. Check out the Facebook page at facebook.com. And as always, come back to our YouTube page. Click subscribe. We're up to 4 billion. Big league.